Hi everyone, this is Bethany and Steven, and I posted that if we made top 10 for America's Favorite Couple, that I would make a video. And so after a lot of bribing and forcing, Steven is here with me. I had to compromise and let him wear his sunglasses. So I wanted to make this video and kind of share why we entered the contest and also kind of just who we are briefly, because it's a lot as far as who we are and kind of our story. So I'm gonna summarize it, and Steven's gonna fact check me because that's what he does. So that's his role. Basically we met in 2020 and we met on Tinder. Funny enough, I was talking to multiple people. According to Steven, he was just talking to me. Correct? Mm-hmm. And so Steven very quickly kind of became top of my list because of how sweet he was, and always reaching out to me and always asking me how I'm doing and stuff like that. I just noticed he was more personal than all the other ones. And so we started hanging out. We met, first time we met was at a coffee shop. And as soon as he got out of the car and I got out of the car, I was like, oh my God, you're so tall. This is gonna look weird. And it did. He's 6'3" and I'm 5'1". So quite a difference. But we sat down, I did most of the talking, per usual, and just kind of shared my whole story, with cystic fibrosis, with my past marriage and stuff like that. And then I was like, and what about you? And Steven basically was like, I'm Steven. And yeah, found out he had 2 sons. And at first I was like, whoa, no. But then Steven kept talking to me and being kind. And so we started hanging out more. And then when we knew that we were going to become serious, I finally met his 2 boys. And they stole my heart instantly because they're like little Stevens. And so it was like a instant, yes, this is the perfect person for me, and insta family. So after that, I forced him to marry me. And then he was really excited about it. And I had, let me go back. Okay, so this was like February of when was that we got engaged? Do you remember? You don't remember either? Oh no! Okay, so much for fact checking this. Anyways, it was very short. I think we maybe dated for 6 months. And then I was like, you know what? We have to it was Grandma. Grandma first said, I'm coming down in April to Florida. She's in Washington State. And she said, I'm coming down to visit. And she was at the beginning stages of a very serious illness, and so she was worried that she wasn't going to be coming back for a visit. And so I was telling her all about Steven and the boys and everything like that, and she was like, well, do you love this guy? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. I wouldn't be talking to him or giving the time of day if I didn't. And it had been 6 months, so I knew by then. And so she was like, well, then let's have a wedding. And I was like, Grandma, we're not even engaged yet. But I went out to the living room and I put Grandma on mute and I was like, Steven, do you want to get married? Grandma was asking. And Steven was like, oh, yeah. And so I was like, sweet. And I was like, okay, Grandma, we'll talk to you later. And so I went on Wish.com because everything was so rushed, and I bought a fake ring, obviously, for $2. I bought 7 of them actually, just so we had I let him pick, right? And so I laid all the rings out and I was like, Steven, go ahead and pick one of the rings. And as soon as the rings were shipped and were here, then I was like, okay, we're gonna get engaged in February. So we at least had a little bit of time before we announced to the world that we were getting married in April. So it's kind of we decided we had the wedding date before we even had an engagement ring and an engagement at all. So poor Steven was like, I'm sure. And so we got I want to say it was Valentine's Day or something like that. You're just not saying anything. At least smile so they know that you like me and I'm not holding you hostage. Even though this story sounds Like, I kind of did force you into everything. He's very happy, I promise. Anyways, so I gave him the rings. I gave him the rings, he picked it out, and then we were outside of the apartment. I remember this, and I was like, are you gonna like propose or what? And so we got down on one knee, and he was like, Bethany, will you marry me? And please make it quick because my knee is hurting really bad. So I said yes. And I kind of like helped him up, and he was hurting because he's like, his legs are like broken. And so then we got engaged, and then it was like, okay, now we need to have a wedding. So the family helped throw it together. We literally got married in the backyard of an Airbnb here in Jacksonville. It was amazing. I think we had like 25 family members come, and it was like in a little RV covering, and we decorated up with these beautiful pages because it was like the first page of our story is what we kind of did the theme. And we got married, and our boys were there. It was amazing. Are you yawning right now?
Huh?
Are you yawning? And I quickly, we kind of were like thrown into that marriage situation, and it's been great ever since. We haven't had any big issues because Steven's very, very, very easy to get along with and very easy to love. And every now and then he's got really funny one-liners that he shares. And so, yeah, that's how we got together. That's how we got married. It's a funny story. And my grandma, she recently passed away last year. And at her funeral, I was able to share the story of how me and Steven are literally married. And I'm the happiest I've ever been because Grandma wanted to be there for our wedding. And so she was there. She loved it. She loved Steven instantly, and she loved our boys and everything like that. And so it's a very unique story on how it started, on how it came to be, but it's our story, and I think it's number one, hilarious. It's really sweet, and I'm really thankful that my grandma helped me kind of take the plunge and marry Steven, because it's the best decision I've ever made. And Steven too, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and so now the second portion is why we entered the contest. And really it was something that popped up on my phone, and I just clicked on it and was like, you know, let's do this, because I saw that, you know, number one, you get your story highlighted, and I think ours is great and hilarious, and so I thought it'd be unique. And the second reason was I saw the money that's attached to it, and so our biggest dream and our goal, I wouldn't call it a dream because dreams sometimes don't come true, but our goal is to get a family compound, a family property, and put my parents and Steven's parents on that property with us so we can all be together. So they are, you know, like everybody, they're getting older every single day. My parents specifically struggle with their health and mental things, so I want them close. I want to make sure that they are doing their medicine and taking care of themselves when I need to, and just be there. And then same thing with Steven's parents. We want to be close. Right now we live kind of far away, and so we want to bring everybody together, and having family dinners and things like that would be so perfect, and I can't think of anything that I would rather have is all of us together. And then even on top of that, we would love to have a wedding venue on the property. Both of us, we do photography, and so we have done multiple weddings at different places and kind of watched the wedding scene in general, and I know we could do it. I love decorating, I love coordinating, and I love photography and videography. So I think that having everybody together, and then on top of that, having that be a great source of income for the entire family, and then leaving it to our boys after we're gone is the perfect vision for the prize money. I think there's nothing more important than having everyone together and taken care of and doing what we love to do. And so that is the reason behind. And Steven is more than ready to be done with this. But I'm really thankful that you sat down and did this with me, so thank you. Because it would have been very strange to have a cutout of Steven. Can you show everybody your eyeballs? Okay, Steven does have eyeballs. But thank you so much for all the votes. all the shares, all the support. We are currently holding 4th right now, and we're moving into top 5 within the next few days. So just wanted to make this video so you guys can see kind of who we are. And I promise Stephen is a little more outgoing than this. But thank you for watching, and bye. Say bye, Stephen.
Therefore, here's the good news. I pronounce you your last chance to run. No, too late.
I chase you.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no man take apart. You may kiss the bride.